The letter which I sent to the Society. Dear Editor, I feel compelled to write with regard to your recently published article, Homeopathy, a natural way to enrich your general podiatry practice.
What is natural about homeopathy? It's tiny things in a bottle that have been mixed from the liver of a duck. There is nothing natural about that. You will not have sheep giving themselves homeopathy. Stop calling it natural.
The article promoted the use of homeopathy in podiatry and provided a link to the Faculty of Homeopathy for further information on homeopathic courses.
Why is that even a thing? It's 2017. Why do we have a faculty for purified water?
Members of the Society and registrants of the HCPC are obliged to incorporate evidence-based medicine and treatments into their practices.
Or we could just live on sort of prayer and hope. You know, we could have evidence, but who needs evidence? No, let's just have this because it seems like a good idea at the time.
Whilst there may be individual differences in how we implement this requirement...
Yes, because some people just don't read the evidence.
The basis for the clinical decisions we make should be supported by evidence.
Because what's the alternative? You can't just make shit up and say, do this, it'll probably work.
And there is a plethora of robust evidence that clearly demonstrates homeopathy does not work.
Why do we even need that evidence? But we did test it. It isn't one of the things that future research is required. We've done the research. We know it doesn't work. That's it. It's done. It's finished. Why is it still a thing?
This is a well-established scientific fact about which there is deep scientific consensus.
Do you know how hard it is to get scientific consensus? Do you know how hard it is to find a single thing that scientists will agree on? We've got one. It's a thing. It's done. It's finished. We're still having the argument.
A 2010 House of Commons Science and Technology Committee report on homeopathy said homeopathic remedies perform no better than placebos and that the principles on which homeopathy is based are scientifically implausible.
It's implausible because it's water. It's just water. It can't have a memory. It's 2 molecules of hydrogen, 1 molecule of oxygen. It cannot remember what it's been near. It's like taking a little piece of putty and hoping that it's going to have the memory of a sofa when you put it next to it. It's just water.
The basic theories behind homeopathy run counter to all the laws of physics, chemistry and biology.
But we don't need those, do we? No, laws of physics, that's just something we can ignore when it suits us whether we can sell little bottles.
In 2015, the National Health and Medical Research Council carried out the largest and extensive review of existing studies on homeopathy and concluded there is no good quality evidence to support the claim that homeopathy works better than a placebo.
But why did they even need to do that? They did it, but they didn't need to do it. We already knew.
They also warned people who choose homeopathy may put their health at risk if they reject or delay treatments for which there is good evidence for safety and effectiveness.
Because that's the thing that happens if you're not taking the medicine that works and you are taking the medicine that doesn't work. It stops you taking the medicine that works.
People who are considering whether to use homeopathy should first get advice from a registered health practitioner.
A registered health practitioner that actually reads evidence, not one that decides a little bottle of purified water is going to cure malaria.
They emphasised that health practitioners should always offer treatments and therapies based on the best available evidence. That includes podiatrists.
Yes, because we are trying to be sensible medical professionals. We are trying to be taken seriously. We are trying to use evidence-based practice, which is not helped when this sentence goes on.
I take issue with the following sentence taken from the article you published. I love the fact that homeopathy is so effective at treating the person as a whole with no side effects.
First of all, it doesn't treat the person as a whole. It just is a little bottle of water. Even if it was a medication, which it isn't, if it had a medical effect, which it doesn't treat the person as a whole. It's just a different type of reductionist medicine. Treating a person as a whole is when you take into account their lifestyle and their diet and all these other factors that we know work. Giving somebody a different type of medicine that doesn't work is not holistic.
Not only does the evidence prove homeopathy is not effective, it does have very undesirable effects.
Yes, because of course homeopathy can't have side effects, except that when they were doing it, they were talking about thuja, which has got huge side effects. It excites the nervous system. Try it when you have epilepsy. See how much of a good time you have.
It causes financial harm, offers false hope, and a too often deadly delay in seeking treatment that actually works, as one of my patients will testify.
Yes, because these people who are buying these things don't have the training themselves to recognise this. They are relying on us as medical professionals to filter out all the guff so that we give them stuff that actually works. And we are not doing that if we are giving them purified water and telling them it's medicine.
Before travelling abroad, her daughter was advised to avoid conventional anti-malarial medication and to take a homeopathic remedy instead. She died of malaria. On your website, the College of Podiatry claims to promote guidelines and standards of practice that are evidence-based, ensuring patient safety and clinical effectiveness with a focus on outcomes.
Which we do with absolutely everything else. If you're in dermatology, you have to have evidence. If you're in biomechanics, you have to have evidence. Anything we do has to have evidence unless we put this little homeopathic alternative label on it, in which case all of a sudden, poof, need for evidence goes away. It just doesn't need it anymore because it treats the person as an individual.
I therefore look forward to receiving an explanation of the disparity between what the Society claims and the continued endorsement of homeopathy, which has been scientifically proven to work no better than a placebo.
Yes, I'm looking forward to an explanation, but the explanation's not going to be very good, is it?
Yours sincerely, Belinda Longhurst.